So we're doing the Shnerdcast, episode 16. We got this far, and we finally got Trinidad on the show.
Hey.
Trinidad. No,
oh my god. So you gotta cut that part out now. Man. See?
Wait, that was good though.
You gotta cut that part out now. See, man?
He doesn't want the nickname to start.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's a good handle, man. Trinidad.
I can't help that.
Dude, you just look at some bitch and be like, yo, I will take you on a magic carpet ride.
So I'll choose it. We'll see how natural that was.
Fuck that.
So I got Trinidad with us finally. Got him on the podcast, and then say what's up, Trinidad.
What's up, man? What's up, you guys?
What your voice sounds
my
like.
homie Ben and Cameron over here. You know.
Yo, what's cracking?
Yeah, we got the finally got this fool's fucking
voice.
Yeah. Also, check out Cameron's Instagram, Apollo Senpai. I will send the link in the description.
If you want to check out some sick ass art, that's all we're saying is check out his Instagram. That's all we're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, my man.
Definitely.
That's all we're saying.
And Trinidad, Mr. Jiu-Jitsu guy over here, fucking beating people's ass.
Soon to be professional fighter and shit, my guy.
Potential match August 30th, Sacramento.
Ooh, plugging it.
Absolutely.
Potential.
We'll see what happens.
You potentially open up a can of whoop ass on somebody.
That's all I'm saying.
Just taking them to
What about your
Claptown.
Instagram? Do you want to plug your Instagram, or you just want to leave that beef right now?
No, you can plug it, I guess. What is it? T_Bautista.
Alright.
T_Bautista. That's cool.
Like I said, all links will be in the description, so check that out. What do you guys been up to, huh? What have you guys been doing the past?
Dude, just work, training. Like I said, I have that match possibly coming up August 30th. I'm still waiting, for confirmation and everything, but just getting ready for that, hopefully.
Nice. What about you, Cameron? I know you got a job about to start up in the lab.
Dude, your boy's got to go back to working a 9 to 5. I'm a little bit bummed.
Got used to that chill life, that summer life.
The staycation is over.
Yeah, the staycation is definitely over, but that's fine, dude. I'm excited to go back to work, man.
Yeah.
New people, you get to meet new people and shit. That's kind of, that's the one thing I do like about work is you do meet some pretty interesting people.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Get a new routine. Yeah. Just find out about it.
And then, you might like the new place you end up, where we were at before, it was just like.
And you make money.
Better make more than what I was. That's all right.
You better make money.
Shit, slave labor and shit.
That's pretty much what I'm doing. So what I wanted to bring up first was the fighting games and the DLC, because after EVO just came out not too long ago with the fighters.
We're gonna talk about that snake incident.
What happened? I don't know.
Oh shit.
Bring it up, dude.
So
I want to know.
During I think it was Tekken Grand Finals. I'm not sure. I wasn't watching EVO this year, for once, right?
I barely watched. You know what EVO is, right, Trevor?
I don't know.
Fighting game tournament.
Yeah.
One of the biggest fighting game tournaments in the world.
And all fighting games are included.
The biggest fighting games, pretty much.
Oh,
is it all of them?
Every fighting game, actually, because you even have side tournaments going on, for Street Fighter fucking 2. That maybe not.
Well, they had one not too long ago that was the Super Nintendo Ninja Turtles fighting game.
It's more like Soul Calibur, right?
Yeah.
It's more like Soul Calibur and Super Smash Brothers.
Street Fighter, even those games were there. That's what type of tournament it is. But during the Tekken Grand Finals or something, there was this fucking clip. You know how Metal Gear has the two little icons that pop up and then the dialogue box on the bottom side? One had a question mark in it and the other one had Snake in it. And what Snake was saying, he was like, damn, that was some good ass Tekken. Yeah, kind of like that, right?
Whoa.
And then the clip fucking dies out and mind you, EVO's gotten really
Was this
big.
live?
Yeah.
What?
This was in front of everybody in the big ass stadium and shit. So everybody saw that and was like, what the fuck was that shit?
Yeah.
Turns out it was for absolutely nothing. It was a fucking joke. Snake.
He was gonna be in Tekken or some shit.
Right. He's not even gonna be a character.
Oh, fucking ass. I didn't even see that. All I saw was the fighters.
It's a fucking controversy. And what happened afterward, the guy that does Snake's voice, David Hyder, I believe.
I couldn't tell you, but it'll be right here on the screen.
Alright, fair enough. Yeah, dude, he got mad about it and was like, hey, don't ever use my voice ever without my permission. Which is fucking crazy, right?
It was like that. They used it without his permission.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I mean, nowadays, like, we're getting to a point where, like, trademarking and people's likenesses and defamation and all that shit is really getting out of hand.
Yeah.
So.
You said his name is Snake, like the animal?
Snake Plissken. Yeah. It's like Snake from Metal Gear.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid Snake.
Okay.
Solid Snake, literally. Like a stupid joke. Dave Chappelle. Little snake turned into giant. I don't remember this. When he fucks a volcano and he smokes a cigarette.
Oh shit!
And then he beats up Godzilla. He's like, "Pow!" What the fucking?
Yo, I forgot about that.
Me too. Until just now.
That skit had to have been hella fun for him to film. Like, imagine if we got to do that shit. I'd, like, 100% would wear a fucking Megazord costume and just push shit over.
Hell yeah. Dude,
but what were you saying? You said he got hella mad. You said Snake got hella mad because they were using his voice.
So the voice actor was Snake.
But what happened? So are they using... Right, but are they going to use his voice or what happened?
No. The thing is it was just a prank or something, because he's not going to be a character in the game.
Oh, okay.
Right. So they just like used his voice as a little snippet during,
like a teaser.
Not even a teaser.
A false teaser.
Well, like a
preview.
yeah, exactly, because he's not going to be in the game. Okay,
right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that happened.
But he got
That's
mad
crazy.
just because they used his
that.
voice. But he got mad just because they used his voice for that.
I mean, he probably didn't get paid for that, so.
Yeah. Like that's the thing.
That's what happened.
This is gonna go off on a bit of a arc, and then we can get back into like DLC characters.
I mean, we already went on like a 20-minute tangent about work, so.
The thing is like we're getting to a point where like you can't use a person's likeness at all in YouTube recording, or else they copyright strike your shit. And that's like their visual content, what they like put together. But it goes even deeper than that, because you also have this like claim of like defamation, like, hey, you're using my likeness to defame me in a way. That can stumble into like voice acting and shit.
That kind of goes on to, and I got an argument with somebody on this, but I'm not gonna go into detail because I don't know. Honestly, I don't know much about it. But with Team 4-Star and how they do parodies with Dragon Ball Z and everything. And that's why some of that shit gets copyrighted. I would believe. I mean, you could get away with doing that stuff, but at the same time, you are kind of, like you said, infringing.
And what I was going to say was, what do you mean? You said you're doing what to someone's likeness?
Defaming.
Okay, so what do you
defamation
mean? Right, and that's what I was going to say. But what do you mean different? So you mean, for example, me on my podcast talking shit about someone?
No, because you're just talking smack about them, and that's like totally fine and legal.
Right.
But like, let's say, since you're into the fighting scene,
right?
Let's say you take like Uriah Faber, right, and you pretend to be him, but like you actually use his image with like a 3D render.
Right. Oh, okay. So
you know what I'm saying? So you actually have to use the person's.
There you go.
Impersonation.
Yeah, you have to actually use their image in some way.
So when you're impersonating someone, and then like doing what though, like
clowning.
Okay.
It's clowning, roasting.
Okay, so like
which probably that company had the rights to like Metal Gear or something, so they just kind of figured that maybe I don't know. I'm not.
I don't know either.
I'm not gonna try to act like I know.
Yeah, no, I feel it. No, I just wanted. I wanted to be more clear on it. Exactly. Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah, speaking of EVO and everything, with the fighters, they just released Janemba. I'm gonna put this out.
Who the fuck is Janemba?
You know who Janemba is, bro?
He's been out of Dragon Ball Z.
Dude, this came out a long time ago. This was one of the kids when Janemba came out.
And I'm sorry, but what is this from Dragon Ball Super?
So I'm just bringing this up because they brought up Janemba was released in the EVO event, and remember when you came over the other day and I was watching the game and you're like, are you playing or you watching somebody playing? I was like, I'm watching somebody play. That was EVO.
Okay.
That was the grand finals for fighters.
Okay.
I play that a lot. Like, I'm a freaking fighter. I talk about it a lot on this channel, so that's why I'm bringing it up. Another reason I wanted to kind of segue into this I want to know Cameron's opinion with the Street Fighter characters.
It's ironic because I just bought those characters today.
For PC, right?
Yeah, since I play on PC.
And then who's Lucia, E Honda, and Poison?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's cool to have E Honda back, but not to get like too technical in the gameplay aspect, he doesn't fit in like the current meta.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they really try to make him put that like bar and?
No, because he's like super traditional in the way like he used to play. Like, yeah, he has like new Street Fighter V tools, but he doesn't fit with everyone else's tools, so he's so out of water.
Because he was kind of that unorthodox character, I feel like. With
somewhat.
Street Fighter.
No fireballs or nothing.
Yeah.
Except this time it's like
he was a good pressure character. Like
once you get in, but if you get zoned out or if you're getting pressured, you can't do anything.
I want to ask this: was he good at like kind of deflating that pressure? And like what I mean is like. He's able to come at you really fast, or is he able to come at you really fast, like with his little headbutt? Or
no, because that's punishable. So like if you throw the headbutt out, like on block, I think it's minus like 7 or something really big, right? It's like minus 7 or 20 fucking.
This is like fucking fighting games are crazy, dude. This is like so many like you have to like know frames and.
Yeah, like fighting games actually don't fit in with like. I guess like current competitive gaming because its bare standard is much higher than FPS.
Yeah.
FPS, it's like executional standard to just play the game is like, hey, can you walk forward and aim? All right, cool, you can play the game. But when it comes to like a fighting game, it's not as the standard isn't simple, right?
Yeah.
FPS, walk forward, aim, shoot. You can defend yourself now, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Fighting games. Okay, you need to be able to block, walk, and you have a bread and butter combo that consists of 3 or 4 inputs or
you gotta
more.
Have like
and if you miss those by a slight frame, you don't get to do it, and now it's not your turn to attack.
That's just what I was about to say. I love fighting games, but you have to be quick to be able to block and then throw your combo at the same time.
Yeah.
If you can't do that.
I was gonna ask you remember when we used to play Killer Instinct, me and Will?
Oh yeah,
bro, that shit is.
Dude, I'm all about spam. I'm all about spamming on those games.
He's a spammer.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
He's one of the dudes you play online.
Make it work.
He's one of the dudes you try to be really technical online, but then he just
beats you with one button.
I mean, if I lose to it, man, I deserve to lose.
You push X and Y or square and triangle or whatever you want.
But the point is, those games, you do have to be hella quick on your reactions because you can't just, that was one game fucking lucky that I won. You know what I'm saying?
No, what's funny though is one of the tournament, because there's always like little tournaments with fighting games in general, and one of the people that won like a low key big tournament won it with basic ass strategy, so pretty much auto combos.
Yeah. And
there's this person who posted that, and that's the only reason I figured it out, that does like I guess advanced combos. So there's like boom boom boom, and then they're like, oh, this is how you do a quarter, like a 1/4 of the health, like 1/3. You know what I mean? Like.
Your combo. So the combos.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's a like little combo sequence to get half health.
Exactly. So it's like if you want to do this, or if you want to use these characters, or use these type of characters with the assist and blah blah blah. So
there's hella guides for video games now back then.
It's crazy, right?
Before like when I used to play PlayStation, I don't play games much anymore. If I do play a game, it is on my PC, and I'm playing either Smite. And I'm playing, and I'm playing Ring of the.
Hey, you play League, bro? You can't say
I know.
I mean, you're right. I can't, but
But the closest thing,
his own.
The only closest thing I play to that is Paladins, and then you guys play that.
Yeah, or League.
Now you understand what it's like, where some character just counters you, and you're like, well, fuck, I can't fight that guy now. Shit.
With this character. League is the same way. League is just touch. What is it? Click to move, and for the most part, it's pretty much.
Smite is WASD, but like that's more free. You can actually like really.
And top down too. League is top down view versus Smite is third person.
Okay. That's true. That's true.
That's one big thing I like about it, and I just got more into that game.
You ever play Paladins?
Yeah, I played Paladins with Nick and Will. I didn't really like it that much because again, it's click to move. That game is more like League of Legends, where it's click to move.
On PC, it's click to move.
You're not thinking of like fucking Heroes of the Storm.
Heroes of the Storm.
No,
Paladins is WASD. Paladins is like if League met Smite, but in like a more converted way.
Which, by the way,
I am thinking about Heroes.
Which, by the way, if you guys ever want to play that,
Paladins?
Yeah.
But what are you playing on? The
Xbox.
console?
It's crossplay.
Crossplay.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Somebody's crossplay now,
Hey,
too.
man, we fucking getting
I got a
places
microphone
now,
now.
Dude, that's what's awesome, though. That's what's awesome. That's what is awesome. The games should be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you should be able to play.
That's what I hate.
You shouldn't have an Xbox, and then because you have a PC, I can't play with you.
Or a PS4.
You
or
fucking,
PlayStation
we
or
have the
whatever.
fucking internet
Or
now. Fucking
Wii,
make something
whatever.
we can play together. If in the end, it's only gonna, I think it's only gonna help those companies in the end, like
Because
cross.
now you can play this game on whatever system you want it to be on, and
Exactly.
you're all good.
And then, you know what? It's funny because I don't know how it is now, but a while ago I used to watch a lot of Switch content, and they'd always be like, I have a lot of people who own Nintendos and Switches, or this is before Switch, so Wii U's, they would have PCs. Usually, unless it's an exclusive, I can't. Fuck.
Just a phone.
Okay,
You
nothing
good?
broke. They said it was indestructible. I'm just kidding. So usually when it's so they use the PC with Nintendo's more couch play. So when people come over, they can play with everybody. But when they're by themselves, they have the PC to play majority of the games, unless there's console exclusives like Halo, Gears of War, fucking The Last of Us. There we go. The Last of Us, Uncharted. You know what I mean? Those games where you could only play on that console. It's like PS4 or Xbox. But PC, even if you do get those games like Skyrim, Call of Duty, you could Counter-Strike, you could mod the fuck out of those games.
If it's
On
on
PC.
PC,
GTA,
On PC,
even with
yeah.
GTA 2,
On
you
PC,
can do
you can
so
mod the
much,
fuck
dude.
out of the games. Yeah.
Even if you buy it, like if you bought a Bear GTA and I bought one, you bought it on your PC, I bought it on my console.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I could buy so many things online for that game, bro.
For like a month, I'd be satisfied. For like 2 years.
yeah,
It's
we'd
gonna-
never run out of modded content.
Plus,
Exactly.
unless you got tired of that game.
Exactly. Games on console versus games on PC are, while they're the same in like fucking story and shit like that, playing them online, they're completely fucking different, bro. Completely different.
Agree.
Because so many people do that. So many people hack the game and fucking mod it and fucking what are those fucking aimbots, fucking looking through walls and shit. Fucking people are hella on PC. It's just like not anything's
With PC,
possible. But
it's pretty crazy because you guys get fucking all the awesome mods, all the crazy mods, and it's funny because
people make their own mods. Bro.
yeah,
People are so...
dude, my girlfriend believed that you could turn the fucking Sasquatch on Xbox Raw, like and I was like, no, you can't do that. She's like, are you sure? And I was like, no.
She saw it on PC.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying.
And
Because people hack it, because people go into the
And they
files
mod
of the
it.
game and they mod it and they put in certain program files and shit. Yeah, I used to mod World of Warcraft
with
all the fucking
GTA
time.
also too, they do the same thing. They mod the fuck out of it, and you can literally just be like,
People have their own. So for example, I used to play World of Warcraft all the time, and that game you could mod the fucking
servers.
fucking World of Warcraft, you and Will.
I love that game. That's the game that got me
and
hooked.
Mike.
Games on PC or World of Warcraft, literally people have their own profiles. We go. Do you know about Curse.com?
Yeah.
Dude,
People use that for like League and shit.
Exactly.
They want, like a personal profile.
Exactly. That's what I was about to
This is
say.
what I do with my character.
Exactly. That's just what I'd say. And that's where I never made my own, but I would go on Curse.com and like check out hella different profiles and be like, damn, copy and paste. It's hella easy. It's hella easy.
Okay, so you would copy and paste someone's like build or
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so on Curse.com you can load up, if you're playing World of Warcraft, you can load up all your add-ons on like this one huge ass link. It's the program files of like the HTMLs and shit. Like I don't know coding and shit like that, but the people that do on Curse.com, like the people that do, they'll go in, they'll upload the little profile to Curse.com, and me, someone who doesn't know how to code and shit like that, you just go on their website, you copy and paste their fucking code for their profile, and then you open the program files of your video game, on a computer, and then you just copy and paste. And then bam, and then when you open up your World of Warcraft game, your interface is going to look just like their interface, and they'll upload screenshots.
Before we get off on the World of Warcraft tangent, we
were just talking about mods and stuff.
Well, if there's a game that you'd want to see to be crossplay between platforms and PC and all platforms and PC, what's a game you think you'd want to see?
Damn, that's crazy. That's a crazy question. Man, I played so many video games.
Well, what are you guys playing right now that you want to?
I'm not playing anything right now. The game that I'm playing right now is cross-played, so...
Well, I was going to say, you already know what I want, and it's on its way. Destiny is soon going to be cross-save, but not cross-play. Yeah. And there's a good reason for it, but I'd still like to see it happen. I mean,
Destiny
Street Fighter
Xbox
already is.
Yeah.
Crossplay, which is cool. So like PC and PS4 users
Halo.
can all play each other.
Halo,
and not just the new Halos.
I don't know about that.
Halo 1, Halo 2. I miss the days on Halo 2 where we would just jump into a fucking game and be like, "Fuck your mom, fuck you."
Well, yeah, you can't do that shit now.
You can't do that shit now because little kids play that fucking game.
It will definitely 100% weigh evil to put for FPS versus FPS from console to PC, but as console players, give them like maybe 5 years at the most. They'll catch up. They won't be better, but they'll catch up. I think they'll be at the point where
yeah, exactly. That's just what I don't know.
You have a lot of like mechanics that are unseen in console.
I
games.
will say this though, you can increase the sensitivity on the D-pad just on certain games to
like really whip it around.
Yes.
That's not the only thing though.
It's more accurate with the mouse.
Yeah, it is more accurate with the mouse, but like, so Destiny has this thing that like you don't hear people talking about it as much on PC because it doesn't fucking apply to us, but on console it does apply. There's these really fucking strange ass mechanics called bullet magnetism and aim assist that exist in the game.
On console.
Aim assist
so all of that stuff goes out of the window if you do crossplay. For things like Paladin, that shit doesn't matter because it's straight up your skill shots, your cones actually. You know,
okay, that's where it's going to come into play.
That's where it's okay.
That's what I mean, though. I think
full
that's what it'll take.
It's not.
It's not going to be. It's never going to happen. Probably.
I really think it can because erase that from. So give them an option. Give the console player an option for
turn all of it off.
Yes.
But those things aren't even options for people like me.
Really.
Like for example, for me, who's someone for like because some of those mods, from what I understand, for like the Counter-Strike mods and like these FPS mods on PC, you have to buy them. Well, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to pay for mods.
Not everything. The only 2 mods that are free that I know of at this point, and there's probably more, but is the Bethesda, Skyrim, and Fallout 4. Those are the only ones on consoles that have moddings for free.
But what I'm saying is, someone for like me who doesn't know, like for people who know how to mod their game without having to pay for it, that's why I think it's never going to cross-play. As far as FPS goes, I
just want to ask, in general, with DLCs, what's your stance?
I don't like. Well, like I said, I don't really play games like that have DLCs. The games.
What's the last DLC you bought? Let me ask you that.
I never bought a DLC before. A downloadable character. Never ever in my life.
That sounds a little...
No, not character, content. I guarantee you have. You play World of Warcraft, bro. Every season, every fucking expansion is a DLC. It is as an expansion, but it falls into the category.
Okay, if you're gonna market that as that, then yes, I have bought expansions of World of Warcraft, but I've never bought like characters. Like for example, in World of Warcraft, what they have a lot, walk around like in World of Warcraft. It takes forever to get from one place to another. But if you buy a mount,
you just travel really fast. Yeah.
But you can buy a shitty looking thing to ride around on, or you can pay fucking an extra $20. So
in that game, could you buy like if you had a bunch of money, you could just, like you said, just buy something that just fast travel you from one
exactly. Point. If you have money, you can.
So what? Okay, So going back to the question, do you like DLC? Like, if you do like DLC, what kind of DLC are you kind of?
And if your game has DLCs in it, then your game itself shouldn't cost money. Your character should cost money. So, like, for example, I shouldn't pay $60 for a physical CD, put it into my fucking PlayStation, and then 2 weeks later, there's a fucking better character on there for another fucking extra $10. That means I'm spending. Excuse me.
I got something to say that might really piss y'all off.
That means I'm spending $70 on this video game. So the game itself should have, like, for example, Smite did it the right way. The game was free when it came out. You have a few playable characters, and then you can either
give you characters.
Yes, they give you characters at the start.
That's how Paladins was.
Or you can, or if you pay $30 for, this is the best deal ever. If you actually buy
that's what Will said too. You pay $30, you get all the characters forever. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you buy the game, you get every character that comes out. If not, you can buy the character separately with in-game money, gold that you get from winning matches, or you can just buy the game, or you can just play with whatever characters you have.
What were you gonna say? That was gonna.
So this shit's gonna really piss you off, and anybody that like actually listens. Here's the thing. So, you know, like the other night when we were all drinking, I was talking about laser discs and shit. I don't know, you were probably like super drunk, and so was me.
I was at that point. I was probably.
Yeah, you guys were not following me, and I was like, because this is when.
We're like, I think I remember that. I think we're both looking at you like laser disc, like what?
Yeah, because it was on some bullshit with he couldn't wrap his head around either the memory card or the fucking console. I don't know what it was, man. My man was.
You're talking about PlayStation. That's all I remember.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. But here's the thing: we live in like this really weird era where I don't think anyone has actually done the research to actually figure out if the game is actually on the disc. So hear me out. You know how every time you buy a game, you put it in your system, and now you have to wait for it to install.
So this is conspiracy theory right here.
This is true, but like, it is kind of conspiratorial, but
because I think I know. I want to think. I think I know.
You kind of follow what I'm saying, right? Because when you look at it, I want to hear the rest. The fucking download is like an 80 gigabyte download. Think about how much space and memory is on 80 gigabytes. I don't think anyone's ever stopped to like do the research what's actually on the disc. Because if the disc doesn't house the game, the only thing it does house is just, hey, here's an ID that says you bought it. Right. Download it. You just spent $60 on a piece of plastic, and you don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying?
I could be wrong, but I swear right before the Xbox One came out, I don't know, a year after the Xbox One came out, I swear they added the install button, like the install system, so we install it. And I swear
permanently, right?
Yeah, and you can just play it without having the disc. Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
So did you do that too when you were younger, or am I tripping on your Xbox 360?
I did. Yeah. Some of those are just straight up permanent games on the hard drive.
Well, if you have the online and everything, I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, this entire time, the last decade, there's probably been a huge bucket of people that have only been sold a piece of plastic that says you bought the game when they don't need the physical disc anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we might actually be at that pinnacle where that's when it's so under the radar, because everyone's like, oh, loot boxes are a fucking problem. No, the problem is you just bought a piece of plastic, dude, and they're milking you for that shit.
So loot boxes are the worst.
Yeah, I don't like that shit either.
What about you, Shnerd? What do you think about loot boxes, Mr. Texie Boy?
Yo, he's got a Texas main girl.
Man girl, exactly. You said loot boxes?
Yeah.
Loot boxes.
But in
like loot crates.
So in general.
In general, I think they're cool because
so what do you think of so you put 20 hours into a game to get a certain item where somebody just put $10
and they get it immediately.
Yeah.
That's bogus.
Okay, you're gonna say that's bullshit, right? That's pay to win.
That's pay to win, exactly.
So if it's a cosmetic, then
exactly.
Some games don't have cosmetics; they actually have real weapons.
Yes,
I don't mind ever getting that purple, green skin or whatever.
Exactly. You want to pay an extra $2, $10, whatever dollars because you want it to be fucking red instead of blue, whatever.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative. But if that extra fucking $10 makes you better than me, and I put fucking 5 hours extra into the game, and you just put $5 extra, I think that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not fair, and why would I want to play a game like that,
What about the updated engine for the new Call of Duty? What do you guys think about that?
I don't know.
I have
what
not taken a peek at it.
Yeah,
yet.
same. I don't like Call
We
of
talked about it last time, and I didn't.
I'm not
I
a
didn't
big
check
Call
it
of
out.
Duty fan, so it's not something I keep up with, honestly.
No, but when we were kids, we used to play that shit all the
All
damn
the time,
time.
And I guarantee if you probably played it, you probably be like, I could play it for like 10 minutes maybe.
Dude,
Because
exactly.
that's all I do.
Yeah.
I play the month.
You know what games I've had fun playing? Like when I was at your house one day with you, I think it was just me, you, and Keith. We were just chilling, and we
2K?
we were playing WrestleMania.
Ooh.
That shit was
I still have that.
Dude, that shit was hella fun. I was like, those are the games I have fun playing with because those games you just go in, you fucking start fucking shit.
You know
up.
what's funny?
Those are games for homies.
We played that for a
Not
little bit, and
solo
I was
games.
ready because I was like, it was like 2K NBA or not NBA, whatever that's called, the Raw or whatever.
Yeah.
Wrestling Raw, WWE Raw or some shit. That shit was fucking awesome.
No, but I mean, those games I have hella fun playing. More Mario Kart. I suck at the game, so.
It's brought up Mario Kart.
I suck at that game too, but I still enjoy it.
You know what's hilarious?
No, I
What's
suck at that
hilarious? My cousin, she has a Switch and she has Mario Kart, and we were playing it for a little. They were playing it for a little bit, and then at the end of the night, I started playing it. I played the hardest. It's like 200 or like 300 mirrors, some weird shit. And they're like, he's like, my cousin's fiance was like, "Oh, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard." I was like, "Oh." Me and my friend used to play fucking that shit on like the top notch, and I beat that shit. I got first place.
Wait, on Nintendo Switch, you said?
Yeah, Mario Kart, bruh.
That's dope. You know what? You know what really makes me want to buy a Nintendo Switch is
This fool has a Switch.
Well, I mean, what makes me want to buy it is I want to play the new Zelda games.
Oh, he called me a hipster because I didn't want to play it. I remember because I had to listen to it like 3 times.
Why didn't you want to play it though?
Because I do want to play it, but it's just like
It's already too hyped.
it's too hyped up.
What do you mean though?
I seen everything pretty much that you could see because I researched it.
Well, then why did you do that to yourself? That's like watching fucking a 20-minute trailer for
Because
a
I
movie.
knew I never would buy a Switch.
Why? There's new Smash Brothers games on there too, I think.
It is, dude.
I'll smash you.
So you remember Street Fighter and Killer Instinct and all that?
I remember playing Street Fighter all the time. Killer Instinct. I only remember playing with you that one time at your house. That was on Nintendo, bro.
Are you talking about the time I smacked the controller out of your hand?
Yeah.
You're like, thank you.
Yeah.
What the fuck? This is when we were like a little.
We were teenagers still.
Well, I have a question for you guys. Well, before the question, Bully 2 has been teased for the past few months, pretty much this whole 2019.
You said Bully 2?
You remember Bully from Rockstar?
No.
Bully?
The video game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that one, that was an instant classic, at least for our generation.
I never played that game though. That game seemed hella boring to me.
Whoa, you missed out, dude.
I never
Honestly,
played that
I
game.
didn't play it either, but I do remember
oh,
I do
it. I
remember
didn't have a
too.
system at the time.
well,
It seemed
That
hella
game-
ridiculous to me. Like Bully, like what the fuck? That game seems hella stupid to me.
honestly, that game was pretty fucking sick because it was more.
What was the objective?
The whole thing was you have to work your way up to the top. You're the new kid, do all the stuff where you go from the nerds to the cool
Jocks.
kids to the jocks to the preps.
No shit.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. It was a good game, and it followed that GTA lore where it's like you have to build your way up, and you had to go to class, and you had to do like little things in class.
Homework assignments and
But
shit like that. I
you-
never played that game.
You
Never
get
played that
upgrades.
game.
You get upgrades for doing finishing the class.
You get hand jobs in the fucking hallway from the fucking. What's going on here?
I mean,
That's
this ain't
an
hot
upgrade.
coffee for G. I mean, I'm sorry.
We need
No,
fucking.
okay.
We need
Even
Bully.
then, think about it. You're in school, like that's borderline.
We
too
need
much.
Bully.
Yeah, you're in high school, bro. Nobody,
Like, wait,
you don't want to
that's
see.
illegal.
No, we need Bully high school version. That was probably Bully like fucking grade school. We need Bully high school version.
You mean college?
or college or something?
College, yeah, college is more.
What? What high school kids be getting fucking was huge. You get fucking.
Well, motherfuckers are underage at high school, bruh.
You're
So-
underage technically in the game.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's what the whole thing is the worst thing you do is kiss somebody, and there's probably like some sexual innuendos because it's Rockstar. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they announced the number 2 version, and apparently there's huge teasers. There's supposed to be a girl, and it's supposed to be in the modern day. And there's a bunch of stuff going on, like Oh, we
this
had
is
to.
the
We had
bully
to.
we're wanting.
We had to stop because to see how the PC was gonna get. It got really like so many rumors. It got really far out there.
This game on PC will have so many mods like a fucking bikini, girls in bikinis and shit.
I don't know
like
if
that.
Bully is on PC.
It would be ported.
But the whole thing was a lie. So
nothing's coming out.
As of now, Bully 2 was never, at least as of now, as of early August, it was a lie.
Damn.
Yeah, and that for the whole year, people were like, "It's Bully 2, Bully 2," and
really hyped about it.
And then
people
people waited for E3. They waited at Comic-Con. Nothing came out.
So it's not coming out.
Nope. So I have a question for you guys. What is a game that came out or that was rumored to come out that you wanted for it to come out but it never did? And I have a couple questions. I have a couple answers. This is an old one. Mega Man Legends 3 for the PlayStation.
Too old for me.
That's
I don't know.
And then
Mega Legends 2 was out, right?
A more recent one, Konami and everything, Kojima, yeah. Silent Hills.
Yeah, that was called like PT, right?
That was the PT trailer, yeah.
Yeah, like that would have been cool if that game came out. But I mean, there isn't that many games that disappeared from my radar that I wanted to play and were just outright lies. I mean, I could talk about how disappointed I was with.
Do you remember this one called Scalebound?
Scalebound?
You're pretty much like a free roam, like a sandbox world with dragons, but
no.
It was like Skyrim, but on the
different level, maybe.
It was like maybe like Devil May Cry, but a couple notches down.
I mean, that would be kind of cool.
It's like fast paced, where like.
How about bringing up games that were upset that disappeared? I mean, is that just
Twisted Metal?
Ooh, bro. Well, they had one for PS4 not too long ago, like a year ago.
Yeah.
PS4?
Yeah, there was one that came out on PS4.
No way.
Ago.
It might have been VR. I don't know if it was like a Twisted Metal game or if it was just like a.
I think it was.
Was it?
I think it was. There's one game in particular that I'm a little bit disappointed I can't go back and play. It was something very similar to like all the games we were talking about earlier, like Paladins, Smite, and League of Legends. Gigantic. I don't know if you guys even heard of that.
I think I've heard of it.
It had like similar mechanics to where like you had a champion or a hero or a god like Smite, right? And you know you have a specific tool set that you're built with and you got to play with. But like the whole thing was it was still like 5v5 combat, and each team had this like Titan or a Gigantic or something that I forgot what the fucking name was, but it had this big ass monster that you had to summon by like taking out the objectives on the enemy team. By the time you did that, then your big giant was summoned, and then it would just wreck their shit and win you the game. Like that
I remember that.
And it was all cell shading, like really cartoony in a way.
I remember that. Will was telling me about that. And
Dude,
I actually did play it for a while.
It came out and it's gone. Like they shut the server down. You can't play the game anymore.
You'd have to,
it's so depressing.
It was like you have to capture the objective to have the
big dude show up. Yeah,
which
that shit was so tight.
By the way, 2012 last Twisted Metal game. Yeah, 2012 last Twisted Metal game.
That was 7 years ago. Man,
a long time ago. It was a lot longer than I thought.
And it was for what console? It was for that wasn't for PS4. It was for PS3 or maybe PS2.
Yeah, it was probably PS3. Maybe like a
PS3.
like a weak imported version for PS4, but like an HD version.
I mean, that's the game that's one game I really miss. Is Twisted Metal. I always had fun playing those games. Or maybe that didn't make a sequel of. Honestly, not a lot because I didn't play a lot of role-playing games. The role-playing games that I did play were games like I knew they were going to make sequels of and that they were going to do good, like Zelda, Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 3, a little underwhelming.
You know, I haven't played it yet.
Pissed off the fan base.
I haven't played it yet, but I hear, you know.
I have it.
Well,
which, by the way, if you guys ever want to come through and start a fucking playthrough series, we could definitely do.
What do you mean a playthrough series?
That would actually be fun.
Where all three of us could play?
Like we take turns.
We all like play in the same room, just recorded.
And we just talk like we're doing right now, but we're
playing games. For sure, that would be dope. I'm hella down for that.
After this, I'll show you me and Cameron's
My brother used to do
GT
that all the time.
playthrough.
I mean, for me growing up, like,
I don't know if it's a playthrough. We didn't beat
Harassing
the game,
motherfuckers.
well, me and my brother, like, growing up, okay, because I'm a twin. So me and my brother growing up, any game, like, we beat all the Halos together. Kingdom Hearts, we would take turns just like that. All story games we were into, we would just, like, either play together if there was a co-op, or we would take turns playing. So, dude, I'm hella down for that, bro. All the time.
Yeah. So, I want to talk about this. It's on Amazon Prime.
oh boy, oh boy, oh
It's
boy.
called
The Boys.
The Boys.
Me and the boys
Hanging
finna
with
go
the boys.
take out superheroes.
Chilling
So,
with the boys.
I never heard of this. It was a comic. I never watched it. I will try to watch this by the next episode, next time we record this. But this one looked pretty fucking crazy. It was one of those. It reminded me of a civilian version of what's that? He's all blue.
X. Oh, you're talking about
fucking
Watchmen?
Watchmen. There you go. Yes.
Yeah, that is what that is.
It reminded me of a civilian version of Watchmen.
It's just as brutal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Watchmen was that brutal, but it did have its like.
I mean, it did show that guy's dick.
That was the most brutal.
Wait, did it?
Yeah, it did. And that was the most
like
brutal.
500 times.
That was the most brutal or aggressive.
Oh, yeah, aggressive for sure.
Superhero movie, quote unquote, that I've ever seen.
Definitely at its time.
That was not even a superhero movie. That was more a vigilante movie.
Yeah.
Like straight up vigilante movie.
Yeah,
like
true.
That part when they're
heroes don't do the shit they do.
that part when they're in Vietnam, and that dude was just like just started fucking killing
and fucking
people.
and then like he impregnated that Asian lady.
Yeah.
And he didn't even fucking care. I think he fucking shot her. If I
He
remember
died in the
correctly.
beginning, I think.
I think he did. What was his name? The Joker or the Smile guy? He had
his smile
pin,
with a little.
His
yeah.
pin was the smiley face. I can't remember his
And
name.
then when he got shot,
That's
he was
one of my
like,
favorite
"No
movies,
smile."
though.
Was that Sin City?
Sin City was just as
God.
violent.
Yeah.
Sin City was my favorite movies, but only because of Jessica Alba.
True.
This is what sucks about our American society. When they become movies, people, especially nowadays, try to act like they're huge fans when in reality, nobody knew about it until it's made into a movie, except for like a very few. And
Dude,
then
I mean, I'll
when
be
it is
fair,
made
dude.
to a
I didn't know
movie-
about Watchmen until
The
Me
movie
neither.
came out.
Me
I think
neither.
like middle school is when someone
When it
actually
came out.
showed me one of the novels, and like I was skimming through the novels. We had Miss Lucas's class or some shit together. He was always like hyperactive and shit. You might not talk to him that much because he didn't skate. But like one day, me this Watchmen fucking like book, and I was like skimming through it, and I was like, "This is fucking nuts!" And he was like, "Yeah, check this page out, titties." So I was like, "Yo!" And I'm like in fucking
And Miss
sixth grade.
Lucas
and
was
shit.
like, "I accept." No, she was
No,
like,
she just looked directly at us and was like,
She was a crazy ass teacher, dude.
because she was a black lady, that's why.
That's true, dude.
Every black lady has black lady face. When you fuck up, they'll give you black lady face. And you're like, I'm not doing that ever
So-
again.
She was also hella cool where the part where like, nah, I don't want to. Why would I do this?
She was one of the cooler teachers, definitely. But still, that was the first time I saw Watchmen or actually like look at the
comics.
book. Yeah.
Dude, I've never seen any of the comics, honestly, for Watchmen.
Yeah, so the first time, I mean, I have to admit and say I'm one of those people too where there's certain things that I didn't even know about until the movie came out, like Watchmen or like Sin City. I'm a fanboy of Sin City, and I'm a fanboy of there haven't been any Watchmen movies, but that's one of my favorite movies that's ever came out. One of my favorite scenes is when like that one guy,
in Sin City?
No, in Watchmen.
Watchmen.
When I forgot his name, but when he's in prison or whatever, and they're like attacking him, and he says like. He's like, you guys are forgetting, like, you guys are trapped in here with me. I'm not trapped in here with you.
That's where that shit came from.
Yeah, that shit was brutal.
He's like,
so,
no, I'm not trapped in here with you.
Exactly.
You're trapped in here with me.
So, like,
that was pretty sick.
That was one of my favorite movies. Mainly, yes, because of that scene was fucking brutal. That's what I feel like superheroes are like. Dude,
Collateral, dude, is always collateral.
Exactly, that's just what I was about to say, and that's hella funny.
Yeah,
I've seen so many memes about this.
There's no chance of not having that.
When you were watching Power Rangers growing up, every time they fucking transform into a fucking Megazord or whatever,
and they just fucking
destroy everything around them.
Yeah.
But when Dragon Ball Z, they'd be like, no, We have to fucking
No,
go
100
miles away from this.
Wait, you know, even Goku was like, hold up, my man, we gotta go way out here for this.
Exactly.
Wait, you know how they fix that though? Is they get this at the very end, every time they get the Dragon Balls, be like, everybody who died, wish them back.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
And
but
then
that's the reason
like,
why they would bring
was
back.
that a sleep?
But they still,
Never mind.
their damage was because like in the season 1 of Dragon Ball Z when fucking Vegeta and fucking what's his name? What was the other guy's name? Vegeta and fucking Nappa when they first came to fucking Earth. Exactly. Okay, but when Goku came, he's like, we gotta go over here where we're far away from. You know, every time they fought, they didn't cause any collateral damage. It's always because, you know, they met up with them and the collateral damage was already caused.
Wait.
Yeah, that's true.
He had nothing to do with Vegeta and Nappa coming to that place. Only reason that happened is because he fucking was a Saiyan that was supposed to be going to Earth.
To destroy the planet. Yeah.
But then, like, 20 years later...
He hit his head. You know, I know. What I'm saying is...
But he was a baby at the time. How the fuck they expect a baby Goku to fucking kill everybody?
The Dragon Ball Broly movie is supposed to explain that, blah, blah, blah.
Who cares, man?
I gotta watch
it. It was a good one. It was a good movie, but it's just like...
I hate these
if it's good to watch, that's one thing.
I hate these extra
movies. It doesn't
movies
add
that come
anything,
out. I hate these
honestly.
extra movies that come out. Because Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball was one of my favorite things. That was like a childhood... Pokemon and that was like a childhood memory for me, bro. Like, and for them to be coming out with these movies now in like the late 2000s.
Well, what sucks with Dragon Ball,
2010s.
you know, with Dragon Ball, so you know how they explain Super Saiyan?
What do you mean?
So you know how, like, they're Super Saiyan. So Toriyama, the guy who writes it, retconned it to the point where he was saying that, oh, you have a certain amount of E cells in your body. Which they just put that out when the new Dragon Ball Super series came out.
That's fucking stupid.
And you know what sucks is people defend it, and there's
E cells? What the fuck are you talking about? Blood cells? No, you're fucking born Saiyan.
So
wait, run it back a minute.
Okay, Dragon Ball. You know how there's Saiyans.
Mm-hmm.
You know how there's Super Saiyans.
Right.
So the further you can get depends on how much E cells.
Oh my god.
In your body that you have, and apparently Vegeta and Goku have the most. That's why they could advance.
Go fucking Super Saiyan 5. And
yes,
shit.
they could advance as far as they can. That's why Goten and Gohan and Gotenks can't go any further than 2 or whatever.
Okay.
But they just retconned that, and that's what sucks about with Dragon Ball Z, like the Super series.
Yeah. What the fuck? Alright, whatever. I mean,
and then with the Broly series, it's supposed to be like Broly's so strong because he's supposed to be like 100% like Goku
so he's
and
the
Vegeta.
Purest blood.
Yeah. So he's pretty much a fucking failed idea that actually he's a failed idea that everybody loved that happened to be 20 years later that people still loved and I will always say this. It's a little bit longer now. I say like 2-3 years ago, but it's probably like 5-6 years ago. You'd say you're a Broly fan. You get shitted. I'm talking about real shitted on. Like you get like you say, "Oh, Broly's so cool." You put a comment on like a Dragon Ball Z video, and then like the next like year you'll have like 30 comments of like, "You're a fucking fake. You fucking Broly trash." And then now that like
cool
the past 2 years that there's a female Broly that people fucking made their bait
different
fucking
generation,
jack
bro.
off fucking material to.
Different generation.
And regular Broly that I'm pretty sure they're still.
Yeah, it's still Rule 34 in that. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's different generation though. Like these people that like Broly now.
That's what I mean.
Is just a newer age, you know. It's the Dragon Ball that they're used to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I was telling Cameron before this goes on any longer, let me try to
get back on track here.
Finish this off. So we talked about the boys, and that's when we got fucking sidetracked.
Yeah. So Ben told me. So Ben just showed me that show right before we started the podcast, and this show we started talking about Watchmen.
You want to see it, huh?
Dude, I hella want to watch this show. It looks hella good.
It looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, dude.
I agree.
It looks hella good to my opinion.
I want to ask you guys one thing though. What do you guys think of these streaming websites?
What streaming websites?
So Disney took a lot of his show off Netflix, and it was so Disney Plus. NBC,
We talked about that before.
Amazon, they're all.
Everybody's trying to get into the Netflix
And
game.
then, so what do you guys think about streaming sites? Like,
What do you mean though? Like, what do you mean about them? Like, I don't care for them. I don't even pay for any of them. So
like, Netflix is taking off The Office, and a few other like their shows.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, but if they do, then it might move to Hulu or Amazon Prime or
So
something.
it's going straight to NBC.
They
They're
have
making their own streaming website. Yeah.
NBC's making their own streaming
So
thing?
they're gonna make their own service where people pay them directly.
Same with Disney Plus. That's why a lot of their Disney movies came off Netflix.
I mean, that's where it's coming. That's where it's all going to end up. Like, no one's going to pay for cable anymore. Everyone's going to have a streaming thing.
What I want to say though is, what do you guys think of it? Do you guys think it's toxic, or do you guys think it's good?
I don't.
I think it is. I think it's toxic because, like, eventually, it's okay. Disney's gonna have its own streaming thing. Netflix is gonna have its own streaming thing.
Well,
Hulu's gonna be its own streaming thing. Prime is gonna be its own streaming thing. ESPN is gonna be its own streaming thing.
It already is. All those things already are. Chill out.
What I'm trying to say, Trinidad.
And you have to pay for all of them.
That's what I mean.
So
is that toxic, or is that?
Yeah, that's what.
I think it's good.
You think it's good?
It's toxic. Yeah.
I think.
I think it's bad because
I want to hear what the.
Okay, here. This is the reason why it's good. So, all right, I'm gonna say it. I don't pay for the ones I use, but I use a few. I use Hulu, Netflix, and Funimation.
Yeah.
The reason why is because, like, look, I don't give a fuck about like other TV shows and shit.
Yeah.
Netflix has a bunch of shit I don't give a fuck.
Originals, a lot of originals. They
Yeah.
fucking suck.
Plus they do like live action adaptations. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. They have like one or two shows that like I'll pop in and watch. Like I watched Black Mirror, and that's pretty cool.
It's probably the best one they have. One of the best ones they have that are pretty popular.
Stranger Things is pretty popular.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, it's totally fine. There's nothing toxic about it because everyone at the end of the day wants to pay for their own entertainment.
And they have something on there that they like. So
Bingo.
it can be toxic if you have something on there that you like.
Yeah, if you're willing to pay for it.
Exactly.
Because here's the thing: if you're paying for cable, dude, yeah, sure, you've got like 4,000 channels, but like, you're gonna watch 7.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I mean? Why not just pay the $9 and then you have that one streaming service that has what all 7 of those channels have in one place.
Exactly.
So you don't need to pay that like $130 a month
So,
for cable.
What are you gonna say?
The only reason I think they can become toxic if everything starts becoming its own streaming thing. Like all those things I named off earlier. Yes, they are already their own thing.
Like Disney Plus, NBC.
But you have to pay for all those things.
DC, exactly.
What does that add up to versus what cable adds up to a month? That's my problem.
That's
I
true.
mean, I understand what you're saying there, but how much of that shit is humanly watchable?
You're right, and that's where I agree with you. I mean, if you have a $4,000, if you're paying fucking $40 for all your streaming sites, and you're paying $40 for cable, but on cable you're only watching 10 of the 4,000 fucking channels you have, then yeah, definitely, you might as well just pay for what you're, if it's cheaper, But my only thing is if everything starts becoming its own thing and you have to pay for everything else, if cable has everything but maybe not on demand like you want it, maybe cable is still, I mean, depending on which way you want to go.
Well, the thing what I was saying though is you have on demand and everything, but when you have their own channels like NBC, DC, Disney, all pretty much taking out their own things and trying to make their own originals, which I don't mind the originals. The originals are pretty sick.
Yeah.
But at the same time, am I really going to have to pay for Netflix and NBC because I want to watch some of the shows? Because some of the shows on Netflix or Hulu, and now I have to pay for this streaming service.
Yeah.
I think, for me, it's pretty toxic because I don't want to have to pay for, like, if I pay for cable, yes, but at the same time, you're going to have to pay for those other things, like, because you're not going to be able to watch some shows on demand and Hulu, and you know what I mean? Like, they'll be on Hulu and whatever, like, those streaming services.
Okay, so I remember. So my thing about cable is, the only really thing I liked about cable is whatever was on, you had to watch it, and you'd be cool with it. Versus on Netflix or on Hulu and on these other streams, I spend honestly though, I spend like 20 to 40 minutes looking for something to watch.
That's your indecisiveness.
Yeah, yes, that's true. That's true.
What I was gonna say.
You're right. But at the same time, versus on cable, like you pick something, you're chilling, watching bet, and bam, ooh, this is on. I haven't seen this in a while. Versus when you're on Netflix, okay, oh, this is on. I'll just watch it later. I'll just pick something else.
But that's what I mean. Like,
and you're right. That's where your indecisiveness comes in.
Are those different kind of streaming websites toxic because they take certain shows off, like Hulu, Netflix, all those shows that you could just be like, oh, they have this show on Netflix or Hulu, I'm gonna buy that streaming service because I don't want to buy cable. And then all of a sudden you buy Hulu, and then it's like, oh nope, it's stripped off. Now you have to watch this on this streaming service. Like, is that pretty? Like, is that fucked up?
I think it's just a bad timing. I see what you're saying.
It's
like you paid for a service, but now what you wanted from it isn't there.
Yeah.
You have to move over if you want it.
And then especially if you have Netflix, because honestly, with Netflix originals, how many of you guys watch that stuff?
I watch some Netflix originals.
Some of that shit is painfully bad.
No,
some of it's really good.
Name me three.
It's a hit and miss.
Name me three. Besides Stranger Things.
Okay. Fucking Punisher.
Okay. Well, that's canceled.
That's still kind of
That's
Marvel,
canceled.
though.
Yeah, that's canceled.
So it's not original.
It's still Netflix original though.
It's still canceled. Something that just came out in the last year.
Well, what he means by like original, what classifies as an original, is not a
Netflix
pre-existing
made it,
idea. Yeah.
And that's what's popular right now. Like, that's all I'm trying to say. Like on Hulu or Netflix.
Is it okay if I bring up Netflix? Because I've seen a bunch of Netflix originals.
I mean, if you can't think of them, I mean, I can think of three that are really good. Altered Carbon's really good. There's one called just flat out Dark.
I mean,
that's pretty good.
All I watch on
Another Life is also pretty good. They're all science fiction.
All I watch on Netflix.
And why did you say besides Stranger Things? Stranger Things should be able to count.
Well, that's what I mean, because that's
also like the most popular
super recent. One. But this whole thing I'm saying is like, if you can't think of an original on a platform that you're watching, it's just like when somebody says, "What's your favorite song?" and you're like, you can't. He's like, "What's your favorite song?" Oh, it's this by this artist or whatever. It's like, "What's your favorite movie?" Oh, it's this person or whatever. It's like, "What's your favorite show on Netflix?" Right? You should be able to just be like, "Oh, it's this, and this." I mean, I don't have a favorite show on Netflix, but I'll be like, "Oh, I'm watching Friends." What's your favorite show on Hulu? King of the Hill. I'm watching that right now.
You're right. Okay, one Netflix original that I like it's called. I mean, I watched it. I think it's called like Blow, and basically what it is it's like glass makers.
Oh,
that glass maker. I'm sure you.
I didn't watch that, but
I liked it. I like
preview for it.
Well, I like watching the things.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah, I like watching the things they made. I'm sorry, my Netflix is messing up, or I know I would bring up more.
Although, yeah, watching people make glass sculptures is like low key, really fucking cool.
Yeah, dude, I think that's dope.
Yeah, I
personally.
Shit, if I learned how to do it, I'd do it. Like just for fun.
I'd be making like little glass roses for bitches and shit.
Dude, I'd be making tiny fucking like turtles and shit for fun.
Exactly.
Like, yo, this is my turtle. I named him Kappa. He occasionally has a.
I made him.
Yeah.
I made him, blood. But yeah, I mean,
so I just to round off the question, do you think different streaming services and certain streaming services taking rights to other, streaming from shows
that I don't like?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's part of the game, though. No, I think it would be lame if like Netflix cancels a show and then Hulu picks it up and I still want to watch that show. That sucks because then now I have to pay for Hulu.
Exactly. Yes, that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to like.
No, that's lame. That's lame as fuck.
I'm not trying to break your balls, man.
No, that's lame as fuck.
But yeah, I think that's just because we're in a current phase right now where there's so much shit happening in the tech industry where everyone wants a fucking piece of it, so they're making their own. Speaking of like streaming stuff, that's what's going on with Twitch and Mixer. They want competition. They want that smoke, so they're making their own platform to compete with it.
That's what I don't like, because there's stuff on Hulu and Netflix that you watch, and now it's gonna be on Disney Plus and fucking.
Now you're like, wow, I'm not
NBC and I just I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I want to finish this off because we do something special.
It's a little hot of recording.
Yeah, I know, right?
Close it out then.